Welcome to Passionaire Magazine, the podcast where we talk about business, tech, food and travel, fashion, health and fitness, the arts and culture, where we want you to live your passion. Passionaire Magazine, the podcast. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Passionaire Magazine, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Angela Testa, and today we're looking at finding your sweet spot. So many times people are trying to either rebrand themselves, recreate themselves, just get out of a rut. They're looking for something new, something exciting to do, and they're trying to figure out exactly what that is. Well, I hope to be able to help you find your sweet spot today. So if you will, I want you to imagine that we are going to create 3 circles. We'll look at each circle one by one. You're going to overlay them slightly, just enough for them to touch. So you're going to join them about 1/4 of the way. Halfway, that's a little bit too much. Just about 1/3 or 1/4 of the way. What you're going to do is create a sweet spot right where they all overlap. Let's start with circle number 1. That is what you do best. What do you feel that you are really good at? Most of us know that we're really good at something. We just need to put our finger on it, if we will. So how do you figure out what you do best? Ask yourself, what are my talents? Now, there's a difference between what you like to do and what the majority of people would applaud you at doing. So what are your talents? What are your skills? Now, don't worry if you have a skill that someone else in your family does not, or if perhaps someone in your family has a skill that you do not. It's all right. We are given different talents and different skills so that we can walk the path that we are supposed to walk. So don't let these questions trigger you in any way. The third is your competencies. What are you very competent in doing? Your aptitudes or your abilities. Another thing that you can ask yourself when you're looking at what you do best is, what are your gifts? A lot of people will express it in that, wow, you're really gifted at doing that. If you've heard that, write that down. That's included in the list. The other is expertise. What do you feel that you have enough experience, enough wisdom, enough knowledge about, that you have become an expert in that particular area? What are your proficiencies? Now, we can be really good at something, but what do you feel you're extremely proficient in? And the other is your knacks. You have a good knack at doing that. Like you have a really good way at something. Now, depending on where you live in the world, perhaps these words are used a little bit differently. But hopefully, you'll get the gist of what I'm saying. What are your talents, your skills, your gifts? What do you feel you have a knack for? What have you been told that you're very proficient in that, or that your abilities exceed others? What are your competencies, your aptitudes? And what, of course, do you feel that you're an expert in? That is your circle of what you do best. I now want you to look at the circle of what you love. What do you love to do? What you love to do is that thing that is so easy and that you could do it any time of day, anywhere, at any time. Now, of course, that's always done in moderation if it would infringe upon the space of others. But what do you love to do? How do we drill down on that one? Ask yourself, what are the things that you love to pursue? Now, this might be something that you really, really like to read a lot about. That every time you see something on this particular subject, you take a moment to read about it. You watch that documentary or that docuseries. You're really drawn to it. What are your obsessions? Now, I really like this one because many times we find that we are obsessed about a particular something in a healthy way. We're not talking about those unhealthy obsessions, but your healthy obsessions, wanting to help others, wanting to find the solution, wanting to figure it out, not just for yourself and others in the present, but also having the solution available for those in future generations. Your obsessions can help you, of course, become a household name, but many times your obsessions can be the difference between life and death for those that your creation, your service, your product will be utilized by. What are your obsessions? What you love. That's what we're talking about. Ask yourself about your pastimes. What do you do when you may be feeling bored and you go, I think I'll do this? What are your pastimes? Now, for a lot of people, your pastimes have been created because this is your go-to. This is the thing that you really like to do when you're not doing something else. Okay? What do you dream about? What are your dreams? So many times we have hopes, dreams, and aspirations of doing things, and we've put them to the side because folks have told us to grow up, or you're an adult now, you need to get a real job, or it seems so lofty because it may not be in your immediate budget. Well, we're not going to pay attention to the naysayers right now. I want you to write down your dreams. What are those things that have been on your mind's eye since you were a little kid, perhaps? Those things that you said you wanted to pursue when you were journaling in your high school yearbook. You know, that special book that we all purchased back in the day, and we wrote down what we were going to be because we knew that we were going to conquer the world and make a difference. Yeah, that book. Write down those dreams. Or perhaps you were given a vision just the other day of how you are going to make a difference in your community. Whatever it is, write that down. Your dreams and your visions. What you love. I want you to write down your hobbies and your delights. You'll be surprised that many times, because we've been told to grow up or to get a real job, that thing that we love so much has turned into a hobby because we don't want to give it up fully, but we aren't able to immerse ourselves fully in that particular thing, or we haven't quite figured out how it can generate income for us yet. So we've turned it into a hobby. Delights. Those things are not quite hobbies, but they are things that we're able to do every now and again that bring us joy, that bring us happiness, that when we're doing it in that moment, we are kind of the happiest that we could possibly be. Many times your delights go hand in hand with the thing that you would volunteer for. Do you have delight in helping others? Do you have delight in feeding others, in clothing others, in introducing a new concept, a new way of doing things with others? Perhaps you have a love of music and you delight in sharing old music with younger people, in showing them how the songs that they hear today are samples of some throwback songs. And that brings you delight. Why? Because you're opening up their world of music. So what are your delights? Other ways of looking at what you love is enthusiasm. What are you enthusiastic about? What do you really like to do? And if you get an opportunity to do it, you're going to jump at the chance. Now, enthusiasm is something that may not run high every single day of your life, but it is something that when you focus on it, it is easy from low to medium to high. Those are the things that you are enthusiastic about. Another way that you can look at what you love is your passions. What are you passionate about? I know that I am passionate about empowerment. I am passionate about inspiring others. I am passionate about helping others find their purpose. I am passionate about leaving a legacy so that women are able to walk in their divine purpose, about women being empowered. So when you look at what are you passionate about, what are those things that get you fired up every day? What are those things that if you could only do one thing, what would you talk about most? What would you do most? What really gets you not only fired up to do it, but you get even more excited and fired up when you share it with others? When you see others grab a hold of that spark that you have shared with them, what do you get passionate about? That is your circle of what you love. What do you want to pursue? What are your obsessions? What are your dreams and visions? What do you do in your pastimes? What are your interests and hobbies? What are you enthusiastic about? What do you delight in? What gets your passion ignited? That is what you love. Now again, you want to have overlapped that circle with your what you do best circle, right? About a third of the way, at least a fourth of the way, but no more than a third of the way. You don't want to go halves. That's a little bit too far. Your third circle, the last circle, is what the market will buy, what society will accept, what the market will buy. How do you understand this circle? You're looking at what is corporate looking to purchase. What are they looking to fill? They're always on the lookout for a new idea, for something fresh and exciting, a new way of doing an old thing, a way to get new people excited and fired up about a particular product or service. So what will the market buy from a corporate position? Another way of looking at this is employment. How can you be gainfully employed by doing this particular thing? Now, employment, depending on what your hopes, dreams, and aspirations are, you may start off doing it in a volunteer basis, but you found that you love it. So now you are looking to do this as an employee of a particular company. So you're looking for employment in a particular area, in a particular company. That is what the market is buying, and you want to be a part of it. You want to be on that train. Now, for others, you may be saying, well, I really don't want to work for corporate and I don't want to be an employee for others. Great. Self-employment is also in this circle. What will the market buy? And you're looking to do it by yourself, by your company's name, by your brand. You have dreams of being self-employed. I understand, and welcome to the circle. Now, many of us that are in the self-employed circle, we love what we do. We understand that initially, when this first started, we were giving up a 40-hour workday to work 60 hours for ourselves, but we loved it. we wouldn't have changed a thing about it. We understood that we were giving up all of that great, guaranteed, every other week paycheck or salary. Yep, we knew that we were giving up all of that with benefits to work for ourselves for maybe half or even a third of that pay because we were just starting off. But guess what? We loved it. We knew that we had saved and put away for at least a year, if not years, of that corporate money that we were making, and we are living off of that nest egg. So yeah, we are just fine. So some people decide to up and quit their jobs day number 1. And they go, I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here. And they dive deep into self-employment. No nest egg, no savings. They do it cold turkey. Others have planned. And in that planning, you have been putting again your resources, which also include the resource of your income, in a very safe little nest egg because you knew that the day would come that you would make the shift. No matter where you are in that stage, congratulations on being self-employed. And lastly, of what will the market buy, I want you to look at it from the perspective of building a company. What is your brand? What is the thing that you want to do? What company are you building? What company have you built? What empire will we see in the beginning stages explode on the market? No matter what you call it, no matter what the product or service is, be it that it is a physical thing or it is a digital thing, or it is simply helping others become their best via your service. It doesn't matter what it is. Have to ask yourself, will the market buy it? Will the market buy it, consume it, use it under the name in which I feel that it has been given? If not, invest in really great marketing. And until you have figured it out, until you have gotten it down to that moment where you go, this is it. So what do you do now? You're going to move those 3 circles until they overlap at least how much? A third of the way. Each circle is going to be moved to the center until it is overlapping third of the way. If it's half, it's too much. Why is that important? You need that third of the way because of each circle in the center where they all touch. You will find that that is your sweet spot. So it can't be too much. It can't be too little. That's why it's called the sweet spot. Once you've done that, you will find that, yes, this is what I've been dreaming about. This is what I've been envisioning all this time. Absolutely. And next thing you know, you'll be walking in your happiness. You'll be living your dream. And you, my dear, will be a passionaire. So thank you so much for joining me for Passionaire Magazine, the podcast. I hope that you will join us here every week where we will inspire you to live your passion.